Okay, I have started the recording now. So, quick review, yesterday discussion. Yesterday what we discussed switch fundamentals, and in that switch are layer 2 device, and it is an intelligent device, and it has a physical addressing, that is MAC address table. And whenever the sending the information, first time it's broadcast, after then whenever it is giving the reply, once MAC address is learned, the switch, then it will be give the unicast. So switch has unicast as well as broadcast.
For remembering and calling.
It works with fixed bandwidth and it has one broadcast domain. So today our topic is how to break this single broadcast domain into multiple broadcast domain. So switch having a single broadcast domain. So how will break this single broadcast domain into multiple broadcast domain? And switch has a multiple collision domains. It means sending and receiving the information at one segment. Likewise, it's a broadcast. It's a broadcast, and one is the sending a segment. Likewise, it's a segment in between. It is one collision domain. This one is the one collision domain. This one is the one collision domain. This one is the one collision domain. That is the reason switch has multiple collision domains. And what is ARP? With the help of ARP, we knowing MAC address to unknown IP address will resolve. Unknown IP address will resolve. And we have another ARP also, RR, that is reverse ARP. RR, that is reverse ARP. Knowing IP address to will find out the MAC address, unknown MAC address. The main difference are inverse. This is a reverse ARP only. Inverse to the ARP. Now, this is a MAC address. How we discussed it. And types of switches we have unmanageable switch and manageable switches. Unmanageable switches, like it is hub. Yesterday we discussed what hub. Hub is again it's dumb device. It is a dumb device and it won't have any table, not MAC address table and CAM table as the content addressable memory table. CAM or MAC, both are same only. So hub is a unmanageable switch, and that is the reason no configuration, we cannot change any configuration. It's kind of example of extension box what we are using in our homes. Extension box, just it will be receive the information, it will be broadcast that information, that much only. There is no console port also. What does it mean? Console port means will see, this is the switch, and if I want to physically access this switch, so we have to connect. This is my PC, and switch, or you can say router also, any device, any network device. Every network device having console port. With the help of console port, we will access the device it physically. Direct will access. And apart from that, we have, if I want to access remotely, we have a telnet and SSH, secure shell. If you are accessing this device, if you want to change any configuration, if you are accessing the command line interface, what is command line interface? Anyway, we'll discuss. Packet tracer. I believe everyone download the packet tracer. So today onwards, we will start our labs. So this is a switch. We can access switch. Here we can change any configuration in this switch. This is a command line interface. CLI. CLI. Command line interface. Here we can change anything. We can check the configuration also, entire thing. So with the help of console port, where we are with the help of console port, we can access the physically at remote location. We will went and will access the device. So that is console port. So unmanageable switches, there is no console port because no need to do configuration changes also, not required. See, in your home, some routers are available. Geo router, and we have a Geo routers. Here no pen also. So Geo router and the router simply we can access our mobiles, we can access our laptops, we can access any Wi-Fi devices with the help of this Wi-Fi router. So it's kind of unmanageable device, unmanageable router. You can say this. So no need to do any configuration on this switch. By default, the configuration will be happening. So that is that unmanageable switches, unmanageable network devices. And what is manageable switches? The manageable switches also plug and play. Plug and play means will configure by default. If configuration is not there, we can pass on our traffic. We can communicate to any network with the help of the devices. That is what plug and play. And it has a console port as well as CLI. And that manageable switches having console port, with the help of console port will log in CLI and will change the configuration if whatever we required. If you want to assign a port at VLAN 10, yes, we can assign it. If you want to change any running configuration, yes, we can change it. If you want to upgrade this device, yes, we can upgrade this device. Presently, version is working like 10.1.1.1, that version. But I need a latest version, that is 10.2.2.2. Yes, we can upgrade with the help of console port. Just to plug uh, with the help of TFTP server or anything, we can upgrade it. Later on sessions will check those things also. But with the help of console port, we can upgrade the devices also. And we can verify and modify configuration, can implement and test some advanced switching technologies like VLAN, trunking, STP. We can check. If you want to modify, yes, we can modify the configuration, entire thing at layer 2 devices. This much is the privilege. If that is layer 3 device, so having more privileges. We have a two types of switches, L2 as well as L3. And in L2, manageable switches also is there. And L1 means it's unmanageable switch. And L2 switches, we can manage the device. We can change the configuration. If you want to assign the VLAN, if you want to change the trunking, if you want to change any STP configuration, yes, we can change it. In L3 devices, it's MLS, multi-layer switch. In this MLS multi-layer switch, we can assign the IP addresses as well. Assign the IP addresses also. So IP version 4. In which layer the IP version 4 will work? It's a question for you. Anyone can answer it. IP version 4, in which layer it will work?
Network
Pardon? In which layer IP version 4 will work?
layer.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Bhavana, what is routed protocol and what is routing protocol? What is the difference between routed and routing protocols?
Routed protocol, it acts as a data carrier, whereas routing protocol, it will determine the path. Yeah, so IP version 4 is a routed protocol.
IP version 4 is the routed protocol. And what about the examples of routing protocols?
We have IGRP, EIGRP.
Good. Fine.
I think we have RIP. Yeah, so
Yes.
that's routed and routing. Yeah.
Fine. So hierarchical network design. Yesterday, what we discussed here, access layer, distribution layer, and core layer. I hope you all remember it. So access layer devices. In access layer, we are having the router switches, L2 switches, L2 switches, and security VPN gateways, and it's a host. These are the host devices with the laptop and end host, whichever the devices are using, printer or laptop or mobile, anything is using, those are the host devices. These all are, and access layer devices we have like 92 9 oh sorry we have the 19 series devices, and these are the 2300 or 3300 devices. These are the catalyst switches, and this is a server. This is a, you can believe, like it's a server or ISP. We can access the internet. This is a hierarchical design of network architecture, and every organization will follow the same architecture. This is a three-tier architecture. If two-tier architecture means the distribution layer is not there, excluded of distribution layer. That is two-tier architecture, and this is the three-tier architecture: access layer, distribution layer, and core layer. And access layer, which devices will use mostly, and access switches like port security, VLANs configuration. These are the fast Ethernet and gigabit, and they having the power over Ethernet means with the help of power over Ethernet, we can connect the landline mobiles. So there, the landline mobiles will get the IP phones. Though IP phones will get the power with the help of that port. That is, we call it as a power over. And it is a ether channel link aggregation. Ether channel means multiple load balancing. We have the two switches, like we can configure likewise. That is link aggregation, also will configure in this layer. And QoS, quality of service, whichever the traffic is necessary will pass on the basis. If we are using the Facebook, FB traffic, and business traffic. This is a business traffic and this is a Facebook traffic. At a time, both are originated. At that time, which one is the best? We need a traffic. That traffic will pass on that ports. That is quality of service. Now, quick overview only. And at distribution layer switches, L3 switches we are using, L3 devices. It will be support L3 devices. And very high forwarding data rate, and here gigabit, and redundant components. Redundant means here we have a one switch and second switch, third switch, three switches we have. One switch is down, another switch will be work. If this switch also goes down, we have another switch. So like we'll configure mostly. But our flow will be always happen. If the devices went down also, redundant path means these are the two paths. Here we have two path, we'll configure it. If we have another path also likewise. If one path also goes down, we have another path to reach our destination. So that is redundancy. And same core switches also. And this is the devices 1900 series. These are the L2 switches mostly where we'll use in access layer switch. Access layers will use and 3550 and 3560. These are L3 switches, catalyst switches. We'll use distribution layer and we'll use core layer. We'll use mostly not only 4565. Apart from that, we have the 9200 also catalyst and we have the 9300 also. These are the catalyst switches, core switches. These are the core switches we'll use. All about yesterday what we discussed, hierarchical design. Any doubts till now?
No.
Fine. Now we'll move to the VLAN. What is VLAN? Virtual Local Area Network. Virtual Local Area Network. And as we discussed, switch has how many ports?
24 ports, or it can be 48.
Fine. 24 or 48 ports. So we'll take here 24 port example of switch. So we have a PC connected. These are the end user host. And where it will work actually, switch. Switch will work at where it will work. Switch will mostly work within a network. Within a network, it means within organization, within a single network. Within a network, switch will work. If we want to communicate two different networks, so we need a router. So here, switch has a 24 ports. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can assume like this is a 24th PC. So many PCs are connected, as well as one router also connected. So this is a PC. One wants to communicate the PC 5. So the PC 5 has a IP address like 1.1, 192, 168, 1.1, and this is a 1.5, the IP address of PC5. So PC1 having a MAC address is AA, and MAC address, it's not only AA, it's a 48 bit actually. I have taken the only, it's a 48 bit means a likewise. Actual MAC address format is likewise 4 likewise. Double take. The PC file having the MAC address BB. So with the help of knowing IP address, we'll find out the MAC address. So before that, switch what it will be do. Whenever we try to ping, knowing IP address to one more knowing IP address. We know this IP address of 1.5. We are trying to ping knowing IP address to our PC. What I should have to send some file to him, the PC file. I have to send some text file, and they are interconnected together in LAN network. So it is possible to send we can possible to send any file to him. So that is what networking. So we can communicate two or more devices. That is what networking. So we are sending some file PC1 to PC5. So is sent one file. So switch what it will we do now. He has a send some file. No, switch what it will be do. It will be broadcast the information. So this is the broadcast the information. Whichever the sending port excluded this. It will be leave this port. Apart from that port, how many ports this switch have? 24 ports. That 24 switches it will be send the information. That is what broadcast. It's a single broadcast of domain. So this is the single broadcast domain. It's a single broadcast domain. It will be send every port, entire how many ports are connected. The switch is sending, but I want to communicate with PC5 only, but it is sending broadcasting information. Every PC will get that information. It is fair or not? It is a security thing or not? It is unsecure. It is a not security thing. PC4 also, PC5 also, if how many PCs are available in the network, that many PCs are getting that information. So it is not a secure thing. So I should have to isolate this thing. I should have to isolate this PC wants to communicate only this PC. But what happened? What is which is doing? It is sending to everyone. But router it won't send. How many ports are connected? That router is unicast. But switch is broadcast domain. Switch is broadcast domain. What is broadcast? How many port? One to all. This is a one device. It is sending to all devices. That is one to all. So it is a secure or not. My data is now secure or not. That PC5 is a, you can believe your enemy. He's also getting the information. He's a opposite team. We won't discuss with him the whatever we are working or project. Our data is leak here. So how will break this thing? I need a breakout on this. How can I break it? How can I break on this? So single broadcast domain, I should have to I how to make it like a multiple broadcast domains. So here we have again one switch. This is a PC1 and this is a PC5. This is a PC5. Remaining also PCs also is there. This is a PC2 and this is a PC3 and this is a PC4. So 2, 3 and 4. So this is a one broadcast domain. This is a one broadcast domain. So this is a VLAN 10 and this is a VLAN 20. Now in this VLAN, it will broadcast the information, single broadcast domain. Whichever my team workers are there, my team mates are there, I'll keep it on that VLAN 10. Whichever opposite team persons, I'll keep it on different team. Like this is the different HR department. This is a HR department in real time, and this is the account department. If you have the any other department, sales department, so if you have any other department, that is sales department. Here also we have the different host end users. So this is the VLAN 30. Now in this case, the PC1 wants to communicate PC5, then inter broadcast will be happen. Internal broadcast. Within a VLAN, the broadcast will be happen. If this PC2 wants to communicate PC3, they can communicate to each other. The information is not passed to this VLAN. So here both are isolated. So one VLAN cannot talk with another VLAN. So that is what single broadcast domain into multiple broadcast domain. It will be dividing here single broadcast domain into multiple broadcast domain, and it is layer 2 security. So security will also happen here. By default, all ports of the switch are in VLAN 1. By default, all the ports are in VLAN 1. So switch having by default VLAN, that is VLAN 1. So see in our lab, so VLAN brief with the help of this command will verify the VLAN. So VLAN, that is one VLAN we have here. So how many ports this switch having? So 1 to see 24 ports. These are the 2 gigabit ports. Leave it. Switch having the, as we discussed, like fast Ethernet port as well, gigabit Ethernet ports as well. In theoretical, you can verify it. So switch having 24 ports, that is fast Ethernet. All our ports are available in VLAN 1. So by default, VLAN 1 is there. So these are the VLANs we have also. 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. This is the FDDI token ring, FDDI net, and TRNet. These all are the legacy networks. Nowadays, we are not using these. These are the we are not using. Unusable. These are the waste of VLANs only. So token ring, these are the FDDI, these are the legacy technologies actually. When the our network came, so that time these VLANs they configure. By default, VLAN 1 is available in switches. So by default, all ports of switch are in VLAN 1. This VLAN 1 is known as administrative VLAN or management VLAN. So if you want to assign some IP address, if you want to connect with remotely, yes, you can assign the management IP on that VLAN 1. You can assign it. That is, we call it as a management VLAN also. Whenever you are on to access remotely with the help of telnet or SSH, telnet or SSH, these are the secure shell and telnet, both are the remotely accessing. You are sit in different location. So the device is available in different location. Yes, you can access the device with the help of ISP. This is the different location device, and this is the different location device. Yes, you can access that this device also. If you are sitting here, this is a switch, and if you want to access this device at different location with the help of, yes, you can access with the help of, here we have a protocols SSH and telnet and SSH. Both are the remotely accessing devices. Those are the management tools. So this is a VLAN concept. And VLAN can be created from 2 to 101. Actually, we have a ranges from two ranges. Those are the standard and extended ranges. And actually, standard range will use in our network, and extended for the whenever you are configuring the transport VPN, transport transparent VPN mode, that time you will use this is the ranges. So by default, range of VLAN is power of 12. This is the range, 2 to the power of 12. Remind it, 2 to the power of 12, the value. So this much range from 0 to actual range is the VLAN is 124.0.96, the range, actual range. In that range, we divided standard range and extended range, and the standard range is 1 to 1005 and extended range is 10062 to 4096. So we'll create from two because of VLAN, one is by default available in switch. Up to here we can create, and not up to here also. We'll create up to 101 only. So by default, the VLANs are available. If you are trying to create the VLAN of how to create the VLAN basic configuration. So VLAN 10. Yes, we can create and give the name HR. Just I'm giving the overview. Don't worry, I will configure. And if you want to configure the VLAN 105, 1005. So name AC. So default VLAN might not have its name changes. So it's a by default VLAN. We cannot change name. We cannot assign some IP addresses. We cannot assign this access port also. We cannot modify this VLAN. So we can, if you want to configure the VLAN up to in standard range, VLAN 1001 only. If you want to change name, is AC. Yes, it has taken the name. So VLAN brief command, with this command will verify the our VLANs what we configured here. So here you can check. We configure two VLANs 10 and 20, and I have tried to configure this VLAN. It have not taken it because it has already existed VLAN. We cannot use these VLANs. So we can create from 2 to 1001 in standard range, and extended range 10062 4096. These are the extended VLAN range. So can configure on manageable switch only. We can configure where unmanageable switches we cannot configure it. Only manageable switches, those are the L2 or L3 switches only we can configure the VLANs, and VLAN can enhance network security. Yes, it will be increased. It will enhance the network security. So it's a security thing also. VLAN is a security of network L2 devices, and VLAN increase the number of broadcast domain while decreasing the size. So with the help of whenever you are creating the VLANs, you can increase your uh, network topology or a host also. You can create likewise. We can increase number of broadcast domains. So that is what we can increase the broadcast domains. So how many VLANs are available? That many broadcasts are there in that switch. That many broadcast. If VLAN 1 is there, one broadcast. VLAN 20, that is one broadcast. VLAN 30, that is one broadcast. We are decreasing our their size also, means the we are decreasing by default is size also, and overhead of the switch also. So whenever he wants to communicate the VLAN 10 only, so he will directly go the traffic likewise. He won't communicate the VLAN 20 in different location, different VLAN, he won't communicate. Here, overhead, we are decreasing the size also. The overhead also, CPU utilization also, we are decreasing. And these are the standard extended ranges. And so VLAN provides several benefits. What they're providing: broadcast control, security, and flexibility. Those are we discussed here. Security also, broadcast also, broadcast control also. That is what VLAN 10, VLAN 20, and flexibility, and removes the physical boundaries of network, allowing a user or devices to exist anywhere. So it will physical boundaries, it will be removing the physical boundaries, means this is our users, this is a switch, and both are different VLANs. Yes, both are, this is a different boundary and this is a different boundary. They won't communicate now. Both are isolating. So the main thing of VLAN is we are isolating the VLANs. VLAN versus VLAN here means VLAN 1 versus VLAN 20. Both are isolated. Isolated. They won't communicate by default. Yes, if you want to communicate, yes, we have a options also. So two types of configuration of VLAN. One is statically, manually we have to configure. Another one is the dynamically we have to, dynamical way also is there. Dynamically means once we give the task, it will be configured its own way with the help of MAC address. That is a different way. Packet tracer doesn't support those things, but statically we can configure the packet tracer. It will be support here. And in real time also, we'll configure statically, not a dynamically. We'll not use dynamical way, but statical way only. So it will be work based on the MAC addresses dynamically. So statically, static VLAN are based on the port numbers. So whichever the port number it is there, so we can configure it in this VLANs 0 by 0, fast Ethernet 0 by 0, and this is fast Ethernet 0 by 1. So this is a VLAN 10 we can assign, and this is a VLAN 20 we can assign. So one more thing, one port only, it will support only one VLAN. It will be member of only one VLAN. You cannot assign VLAN 10, VLAN 20, and VLAN 30, multiple VLANs. No, we cannot assign at single port as a multiple VLANs. It will be not a member of multiple VLANs, only one VLAN. The port one is one VLAN only, it will be. So this is the not right way. So here only one VLAN having only one port. And also called is the port based VLAN, static VLAN. Need to manually assign a port on switch to VLANs, whichever the port we need. So here in this switch, how many ports we have? So 24 ports. So how we'll verify the ports? So IP interface brief. These are all are the ports. These all are the ports we have. So each port only one VLAN we can assign it. How to assign the VLAN as a one port? Config terminal. Just create any VLAN. VLAN 1T and the name is ABC. You can give any name and exit. So check here how many VLANs we configured. Show VLAN brief. With this command, we can verify the VLANs. So how many we configured? 3 VLANs we configured till. So now we'll assign the VLANs at port. How we'll assign the ports? So just move config terminal and take interface fast Ethernet 0 by 1. This is a port. And which port mode access? Don't worry, we'll discuss. Just I am showing switch port access VLAN 10. So VLAN.
Ali,
Wait,
one
wait.
question.
Yes, Jyoti, ask me.
So here switch hash show V1, VI, VL. VLAN you are giving, right? The last third step, SH. After SH you are entering.
So don't worry. I am giving the tab. This is a one command only. This is a one command only. So this is the first command I have given. I'll explain the how to configure the switches. Wait, give a minute. I'm showing the brief. I'm giving the brief. So wait a while. I'll show you. So just give a minute. So how to assign the VLAN? I have given here one VLAN only. So that is the VLAN port I have assigned. With whom? That is HR department and the VLAN 10. Earlier we configured VLAN 10, but we have not assigned any port number for that VLAN. Just we have assigned here. How we assigned? So Jyoti, here listen. This is a switch, or you can take any router in the packet tracer or anywhere. So how to assign the IP addresses, how to assign the ports, how to change the configuration. This is a router. Basically, this one is the router and this one is the switch. And we have the multi-layer switch also here. In this is the packet tracer actually. In this packet tracer, we have a different devices. This is a L2 switch. This is a L3 switch. That is the reason here multi-layer switch. Multi-layer switch. This is a multi-layer switch means L3 switch. And this is a router. This is also both are the L3 devices. These both are the L3 devices. This is a L2 device. So again, we have the PC, we have the laptop, we have a server, and we have a another network device, network controller, and we have a printer, and we have a IP phone. Here we have a TV, and here we have a tablet, and here we have a smartphone. These all are comes under actually?
Router.
Host. It's a L3 devices. L3 device. And this is a L2 device. So if you want to configure, if you want to communicate two different networks and two geographical, this is one branch at one location, and this is a another branch, another location. You can assume my screen is visible.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So here this is the ISP, and you, I'm sitting in HYD Hyderabad, and you are in different location Delhi. So both are the different location. So these are the router 1 and this one is the router 2. But we'll take it as likewise. Router mostly is can that is like circle, and whenever we are discussing switches, those are the box. Likewise, whenever I'm giving PC, so I'll use likewise. This is a host and a host. So host and host are different, and this is like access layer, and this one is a core device. So whenever we are using the core devices, LAN to LAN, if you want to communicate from one location LAN to another location LAN, so different LAN, different branch, different network, different, you can, if you want to reach the Facebook server or Google server or any server, Facebook, Google, if you want to reach out anything, you need a ISP. So if you want to communicate from here to another network, we have a architecture likewise. So router, what it will be do from one network to another network. This is your LAN network. This is your WAN network, wide area network. So this is LAN and this one is a WAN. One network to another network. If you want to communicate, you need a L3 device. These are the L3 devices. If you want to communicate from one network to another network, LAN to WAN, or one branch to another branch, one location to another location, we need a router. And if you want to communicate interlocation, inter means this is HR department and this one is the account departments. Both are in same location, same building, so same organization. So we need a L2 device. So switch, the L2 switch will work within network, and this is a two different networks, different two or more different networks. These are the different networks. This is the within network. So host will be communicate from this. This is a host. I'm using one PC. This is my laptop, and this is a server. What entire thing will be happen in servers only, like Google server and Facebook server. Those are also host only again. Don't confuse it. Server, it means that is one of the host only. Server, it is network device again, but it has a single IP address. And we can communicate. Why we need to communicate? In that server only, entire configuration, it is kind of your memory. It is kind of your memory. In short way, single line, it is kind of memory. So in memory, what will be happen? In gallery, photos will happen. So you can access directly. You can check the photos likewise. Server also host only, and printer also host only, and tablet. These are like the host. This is a actually packet tracer devices. Now move to here the configuration part. So I'm I'm deleting on the devices now. How we'll delete? Just select and Here delete option is the cross mark. Just delete from here. So I have deleted and select again this arrow. Now move to the here network devices. Here we have the down section router switch. Guys, screen is visible. Router and
Yeah, it's visible.
yes, router switch and hub. These all are the hub. Hub is a dumb device, so not use also. So it is kind of extension box. And we have a wireless devices also, Meraki and 3702. These are the Wi-Fi devices actually, access points, and these are the route and router, Meraki router. These are the Wi-Fi devices. Delete likewise also if you want. So now move to the basic configuration of switch. Switch, either router also same thing. Both are having the CLI, command line interface, CLI here. And this is a physical view. You can check here. Actually, this is a Cisco switch, and Cisco switch having 24 ports. 12 one side and 12 one side. These are the 12 ports, and this is a gigabit ports, 1, 2. Both are the gigabit ports, and the series of this Catalyst 9392960 Catalyst, the switch. In real time also, it will be likewise only. The and switch having the power port also, see here. This is a real device. In real time also, likewise only it will be happen. But some switches having two power ports also, 1 and 2, second port also for redundancy purpose. So if we have a configuration, we can change the configuration from here also, give assign the VLAN, and I'll refer to you, don't configure in this mode, because whenever you will see the real-time configuration, we how to configure at CLI mode only. So practice also do with the help of CLI only. Don't configure in geographical user interface. Don't configure here. So here, whenever I'm changing ports, you can check here in down, it will be happen. So check here. The fast Ethernet 0/2 came and fast Ethernet 0/3 came. If you want to assign something, yes, you can assign. We learn something, I'll assign here. I'll assign like 20. I have changed the VLAN here 20. So whichever I am doing the configuration, it is affected here. So I'll refer to you. Don't use likewise because you will confuse it. The way is easy, but in real time, we'll use CLI mode only. So whatever I did here, so entire reflected here also. So my recommendation is use CLI mode. So and switch have 4 modes. Switch having 4 modes. One is user mode, and second is privilege mode, and third one is config mode. Config means it's a global configuration actually, global configuration. So global config mode. And we have a interface mode. Mostly interface. This is the interface mode. Mostly we'll use up to here, whichever the configuration we want to change. First, this is a user mode. Where we are right now, it's a in user mode, and a privilege mode and user mode. We cannot change any configuration. Just we'll use only show commands. Show configuration, show interfaces, show configuration. So we can check the information of whichever we configured. So entire running configuration we can check in user mode as well as privilege mode. Apart from that, we can trace out, we can troubleshoot And mostly L1 engineers and L2 engineers having the privileges up to privilege. And L3 engineers will change the configurations. L3 engineers will change the configurations, whichever the configuration. L2 engineers also will change, but L1 engineers, those in real time, they'll use only show commands, and network devices are went down, then they'll raise the ticket to L3 or L2. They'll raise the ticket to L2 or L3 in real time. They're having the user mode or privilege mode, L2, L1 engineers. Just they will verify the what is the issue, and they'll raise that issue to higher authorities. Now leave it that. Anyways, okay, this is a user mode where we are right now. In user mode, check with the help of question mark, shift plus question mark, give the question mark. This many configuration we can check, and we can take a telnet also, and telnet and SSH both are the remotely accessed devices. Yes, we can access from here also. Here we can ping packet internet gopher. It's a actually trace routing command. If you want to check the reachability one device to another device with the help of ping command, we can check the reachability. So these are the commands we have. So give the show command, after then question mark, then this many we can check the VLAN, we can check the version, we can check the user, we can check the TCP and SSH. Entire thing we can check here with the help of show command. So now I'm giving show, but in user mode all the commands are not will not work. So many commands will not work. Show VLAN, again give the question mark, brief. So what we configured, we can check here in this mode. And apart from that, and move to the from user mode to this user mode to, if you want to move from user mode to privilege mode. So we have a command that is give the question mark. Here we can enable. So with the help of enable, we can turn on privilege mode. We can turn on privilege mode. So just give the enable, and check here. Here symbol is different. Here symbol is different. So yes, we changed the mode. In router also you can check same symbol, but give here no, and this is the mode. So different is this is a router and this one is a switch. So now again move to the in this mode, again show commands only work. If you want to change the configuration VLAN, assigning the VLAN 10, so it is invalid. It don't take. Only show commands, telnet commands, and trace route commands. And trace route, we can check the reachability of devices, any issue in between from one location to another location. If we have the multiple devices, these are the network devices, though are interconnected, the reachability is down. So if we are using the trace route in this PC, first hop is reachable, second hop is reachable, third hop is down. That is what it will be shown in this trace route. Anyway, we'll discuss. It's a troubleshooting command. So these commands, limited commands only will work here. See, this many commands. So those are the, but only verification purpose. These are not. We cannot change any configuration till. So if you want to change configuration, so you should have to move the global configuration mode. So how will move to global configuration mode with the help of configure. So we can enter the configuration mode. With the help of configure, we can move the configuration mode. So not only
Configure terminal, right?
Exactly. Good. So configure terminal. We have to give, if you are giving this much only, it won't take. configure terminal, we have to give later on. Configure from terminal. So you have to give likewise. Then only we will move. So we'll use configure and terminal. So how from this mode to again you want to exit from this mode to from privilege mode. So we have a command again exit. Simply use exit. So you can move likewise. If you want to save configuration, we have to use write command. So simply I write here WR, then use tab command. Jyoti, use tab command.
Okay.
Tab,
Tab.
TAB. If you are using tab command, if anything is there, it will show ERL erase. If you give again question mark, likewise. So because we are the busy persons, we don't have the much more time. So that is the reason we have to use likewise. Joking.
Okay, so got it. So each time I config just init 1 and 2 letters, it will just click on tab, it will go, right?
Yes, I'm using config, then tab,
Tab. Okay.
then I'm using only T. I know after this command T. Otherwise,
Mm.
give question mark T. It is showing already. You don't need command. If you don't know some commands, use show after then give the question mark. So what I want to check here, I want to check the memory. Which memory? Flash memory. So what is there? So F
Just left
F.
tab.
Then
Mm.
again give the question mark. So nothing is there. CR means nothing. So give the question mark. Like this is a flash memory. How much byte? This many bytes are available. Now, if you want to check the show V, just give the V. Here V option is there, version. Yes, we have version. V, if two V's are, three V's are there, then it won't take. So it won't take. So we are. So we have to give like VER. Likewise. Again, give the question mark, anything you want. So here we have the one more pipe symbol, and this is a pipe symbol. After this pipe symbol, we can check some commands also. So we can check the include section and whichever the configuration we did. If you want to check the file of that whichever the filter is applied, those we can check. So for particular, so I'm using here pipe section VLAN. So if we configure here, it will be config. So we'll configure some VLAN. VLAN 10 name HR and exit control C also. You can exit from here. Control C, use control C also. From directly you can exit from that mode to privilege mode. So now show here running configuration and use pipe section and VLAN. Use VLAN. So it is not showing in this switch. Include VLAN. Beginning unfiltered. So it will be work on some L3 means protocols only, BGP likewise. Later on sections will discuss this pipe section, but we'll check with the help of pipe section particular configuration. So with show running configuration, we'll check entire switch running configuration, whichever working, whichever we configured in this VLAN, we can check entire configuration. In GUI mode, we can change some configuration. That is the reason here we have seen this likewise. So
So Alim, in order to save the configuration, we can also use copy running configuration, startup configuration, right? So it works same as write command.
only write command it will work. What do you mean? Again, which command you are saying?
Uh,
Write.
copy run copy running config and startup config.
Also, okay.
So it
Those
also,
also
yeah,
same.
The command also, yeah.
Same. So it will be particular where you have to configure that, where you have to save that configuration. It will be work copy. You can copy from there. Likewise, you can
Okay.
copy from there and
So if
copy
I want to
after
save the
then.
configuration, then I cannot use this command?
No.
No? Okay.
Incomplete. We have to copy from this configuration and will save, will transfer, will copy and paste this kind of.
Okay.
Okay, don't worry. Later on sessions will discuss these things. So, but after write, give here. If you want to save that configuration at memory, yes, you can save that. And if you want to erase, you can erase the from NVRAM. Which if you configure some RAM configuration, you can erase also that. And terminal also. Write terminal. But mostly use memory. Memory means it is saving your configuration entire thing at NVRAM. The NVRAM, it's the memory. It is the entire configuration, whatever you are configured, that will be moved and it will be startup config. Like it is fixed configuration. If you shut down the switch also, the configuration won't go. If you are not using memory also, it by default take the memory only. If you just to use write also, it will take by default memory only. This all about the basic configuration, and I hope guys you understood.
Yes, Salim.
Good. So where we are. So two ways to configure the VLAN. One is static way, how we configured just now, that is static way. Another one is dynamical way. And static, we have to assign the port also. Just now we assign the port also, how we assign, and later on session also I'll explain. And need to manually assign port, which that we on a switch we have to assign manually on switch interfaces, those things to particular VLAN, and also called port based VLAN. We call it as a port based VLAN, and one port having the only one port can be a member of only one VLAN. We cannot assign, so we have not verified that. Config terminal VLAN 10 I have created here, and simply exit. Give the name also. If you name ABC and exit, and exit. If you want to check the configuration here also, show do show VLAN brief. In shortcut commands also it will work. Do show this kind of configuration. You can check with these commands. Here also in global configuration, and also just use do command. So I have configured VLAN 10 and I am assigning the port as a two ports, like F0 by fast Ethernet 0 by 1 VLAN switch port mode access, and switch port access. I'm using here tab mode, tab, using tab, and exit. So show VLAN brief. So the port existed in F0 by 1. The port I have assigned here. I have the port assigned. Will verify this now. Config terminal interface fast Ethernet 0 by 2. Now I'm taking the different port. Already port is gone here. See, VLAN 1 here, port is not there. Can verify here, only one port is there. So this port is not available here now. Earlier it was available, now gone. See, earlier, before the changing configuration, before change the configuration, the port is available here, F0 by 1. Now I have changed the configuration, the port is gone. where it is now port is available in this. So now move to the fast Ethernet 0 by 2, fast Ethernet 0 by 2. So VLAN, so switch port mode access and switch port access VLAN 10. So now check it. Yeah, he's have not given any error. So VLAN brief. So when we are assigning the host, it will be work. So later on we'll verify it. I have assigned the access port again. It's only VLAN 1 information, even though. So we'll verify later on this. So one port can be member of only one VLAN. So this is a VLAN 10 and we'll configure VLAN 20 now. We'll check VLAN 20 and exit and interface range. These are the two ports I'm taking. Range. With the help of range command, we'll take the range also. Fast Ethernet 0 by 1 to this is a command where we have to use it. Range we can change. So already the existed VLAN is 10 here. Existed VLAN is 10. We'll assign now VLAN 20 for that. Switch port mode access. Okay, it will be take and switch port access VLAN 10. Again, I'm configuring already 10 is existed for them. So it will be take or not. Here, sorry, 20. So VLAN brief. So it will be automatically moved, not given any error, but the port is gone here. The port is gone. So we have verified only one thing. It have not given any error. Just it will be moved to the direct port assigning. So, but even though you got it right, we cannot assign it one port as a multiple VLANs. What I'm trying to explain here, have you got it or not? One port can be a member of only one VLAN. We cannot assign this port as a VLAN 10 as well, VLAN 20 as well. It won't take. Again, if you want to configure interface fast Ethernet 0 by 1 and switch port access VLAN already 10, the port is existed in VLAN 20. Try to give VLAN 10. So Control C. So it is gone likewise. It is not giving any error in this packet tracer issue, but it should have to give some error. You cannot assign likewise. So it is automatically gone. So earlier
So
20.
any port we are configuring, that means like interface fast internet 0 by 1. It's the same process for every configure.
Yes, the same process. And we have two ports, that is access, and we have another port that is trunk. We'll discuss anyway. Access port and trunk port. We have two ways to
So you are
configure
giving
the
VLAN 10. That means we are configuring to VLAN 10, right?
The access is VLAN 10 is you are in access mode. As I mentioned here, you are in access mode and you are in VLAN 10. So which interfaces? The range of these interfaces. Both are you in access mode and you are in VLAN 10. And access link, and we have another link also, trunk link. Two types of link actually, access as well as interface, fast Ethernet 0 by 1, and switch port mode. Earlier I configured access. One more link we have a trunk link also, dynamic, leave it now, trunk. So does trunk, it means it will be carry the multiple VLAN information. Access means it will be carry only one VLAN information. Here it will be carry only VLAN 20 information. If you configure trunk link means it will be carry multiple VLAN information. Here we cannot assign the switch port. Again, access I am using here. If I am using access means it will be carry only one VLAN information. It will be. Anyway, wait for a while. So yes, your clarification is we have to assign likewise only. VLAN 10 switch port access, VLAN 10 switch port mode access, likewise. Likewise only. And trunk mode, we can configure likewise. Wait for a while. And this is the configuration, how we configure till VLAN creation config mode and VLAN, and after then take a number and give a name and exit from there. And second method, how you assign the interface and select the interface type and interface number. After then, which that is access mode or trunk mode. We have two modes, access and trunk, and assign that as a mode. And this is a one-way method configuration of VLAN, and this is a second way method. Direct, you can move to the database and configure it in database also. VLAN database, we have a file, database file, dot VLAN file name is, we can save from directly on that also. So this is the two ways. And if you want to verify, we have a show VLAN and show VLAN brief. These are the verification troubleshooting commands. The range of command, assigning the multiple, if you want to assign the range of command, we have a range command also. This is a command. And dynamically means, anyway, this dynamical way in packet tracer also not work, but in real time also it will not configure, but you should have to know how will configure the dynamical way. Dynamic VLAN are based on the MAC basis. It will be whichever PC having the MAC address, it will be configured depend on that basis. And switch automatically assigned. Yes, dynamic means automatically again. Dynamic way means automatically only. Manually we are configuring means statically we are doing. Administrator, network engineer is configuring statical way, but dynamical way with the basis of the MAC address, it will be take the automatic VLAN. It is not secure also again. Each port can be member of multiple VLANs. Here, see, each port can be multiple VLAN. And it will be not support actually dynamic way. For dynamic VLAN configuration, a software, there we have a software, VMPS, VLAN Membership Policy Server. This is a software is needed for configuration. So two ways to configure the VLANs, one is static way and one is the dynamic way. Two ways to configure the VLANs, one is static way, another one is dynamic way. Statically, we are configuring, we are assigning the port, we are assigning switch port, mode, entire thing, we have to assign everything likewise. This is all about the VLAN introduction. And we have a two ports here. One is access port till what we configured. Another one is trunk port. Trunk port or trunk link, you can call it. And access link, the only part of one VLAN. The access link is only part of one VLAN. It will carry only one VLAN information. Now, it will be trunk will together we'll discuss. Trunk screen is visible, guys.
Yeah, it is visible.
Fine. So trunk link carry the multiple VLAN information. Access link will be carry the only one VLAN information. And any device attached to an access link is unaware of VLAN membership. The device just assumed it's a part of a broadcast domain. That whenever you configure as a access port, it unaware about which VLAN membership and it simply broadcast the information again. So if we configured this is a switch and we configured this is a port end user host and this is a VLAN 10, and if the port is access and it will carry the only one VLAN information, and whichever the VLAN 10 is there, it will be forward that only. It is unaware about entire thing, but it will be forward that entire broadcast in between that only. It unaware about entire thing, entire topology. Simply it will be forward, and it has no understanding of the physical network topology. It will be not understanding the network topology also, which kind of topology is there, which kind of network is there. It won't understand. It will not understand. Simply it will be forward. Switches remove any VLAN information from the frame before it's sent to an access link device. So see guys, this is a VLAN 10 information. So in L2, in data link layer, switches will work. We discuss in OSA model, L4, we have a segment. L3, we have a packet. And L3, we call it as a message type is which kind of frame. And L1, we call it as a message type is bits.
Bits.
Yes. So here, whichever the traffic or whichever the messages are originating, that is are the frames only. So switches remove any VLAN information from the frame before it's sent to an access link devices. Means in whenever they are sending the access port from here, it will be reached. It will be remove the frame tagging, whichever the frame is tagging is there. It will be removed and it will be forward to that opposite interface, whichever the destination. So the whichever the information this is getting, and that is what encryption and decryption. Encryption and decryption, entire thing will be happen. That is what it will be removed. After then, once it will be removed, sent, it will be add, and that once it will be received, it will be add that frame, and it will be have pin. So this is all about access port. Now move to the trunk port. Trunk port will be carry the multiple VLAN information. So where we'll use mostly trunk port. Now trunk port where we'll use mostly. This is one switch and another switch is here. In between two switches, we'll use the trunk port. In between two switches, we'll use trunk port. Switch to host, will use access port. Switch to PC, will use access. In between two switches, will use trunk port, because here we have a more VLAN, and here we have a one more VLAN. Here we have a one more VLAN. This all the VLANs wants to communicate these VLANs. VLAN 10 wants to communicate VLAN 10, and VLAN 20 wants to communicate VLAN 20. This is a 20, this is a 30. 30 wants to communicate 30, and 10 wants to communicate 10. 40 wants to communicate 40. This is a 10, 20, 30, and 40. This is a 40. So this 10 wants to communicate 10. This 20 wants to communicate 20. This 30 wants to communicate 30. 40 wants to communicate 40. So access port will carry only one VLAN information. Trunk port will carry 10, 20, 30, 40. Entire information it will be carry with this trunk port. A trunk link is 100 or 1000 Mbps point-to-point link between two switches. It's a point-to-point network. One point to another point. So it will be 100 to 1000 Mbps, 1 Gbps. You can assume one gig link. 100 means 100 MB means fast Ethernet port. Fast Ethernet port bandwidth is fast Ethernet bandwidth is 100 Mbps, and gigabit port is there. That gigabit port bandwidth is 100. So we'll verify at switch. Enable show interface fast Ethernet 0/1. So here it is showing kbps, kilobyte, but it will be, see, 1 lakh means the 1 lakh kbps means it will be comes under 100 Mbps only, means 1000 kb equals to 1 MB. 1000 kb equals to 1 MB. So 1 lakh is there. So 1 lakh means how much? Brother, MB. So can verify one more. Show IP interface brief. We have to check which gigabit port are there. Gigabit 0/1. Show interface gigabit 0/1. So 1 lakh. So 10 lakh is there. So it's a 1 gig port, and this is a 100 Mbps link. Bandwidth BW bandwidth is 100 Mbps, and this is a link we have a. So how we'll verify? Show interface gigabit. We'll discuss entire the configuration later on sessions. Now I'm quick overview. I'm giving the overview. We'll check those things. So here, and between switches, routers, and where we'll configure to, and trunk port where we'll configure between switches, between routers, and between server and switches. Switch to router and switch to server, in between we'll use. If it is one router is there, yes, it's a trunk port, and in between one server is there, it is also trunk port we can use. So in here also we have multiple VLANs, so that is the reason. The carry the traffic of multiple VLAN from 1 to 100, sorry, 1005. standard VLAN information it will be carry. So we have a extended also. Extended, if you are configuring, we have to configure VTP transparent mode. Transparent mode. The transition we'll discuss. So trunking allows you to make a single port part of multiple VLAN at the same time. Trunking allows you make a single port part of multiple VLAN at same time. So it will be carry that multiple VLAN information at a time. So at a time it will be carry VLAN entire VLAN information. Guys, if you have any queries. In this concept, access port and trunk port, access link or trunk link, clear? So if you are configuring the trunk link in between switches, two switches, you are trying to configure the trunk link. So the PC and this one is the PC. And here we have VLAN 10 configured and here we have configured VLAN 10. So this is access port and this one is the trunk port. So frame tagging. So listen properly. Here VLAN 10 information is sending with the help of access port. It will carry VLAN information. So once it will be reach here, it will be remove the tag information. VLAN 10 information, it will be removed. And it will be send empty packet. It will be remove the frame pack. It will be remove the frame tagging. It will be sent like this. And that is we call it as a frame tagging. So single VLAN can span over multiple switches. So it will be span of multiple switches with the help of tagging. So here, see guys, before that, here we have two tagging methods, ISL and .1Q. ISL and .1Q, inter switch link and IEEE standard 802.1Q. Two methods we have actually. So frame tagging, whenever you are configuring trunk port, you have to follow these two methods. So whenever you are configuring the trunk port, you should have to follow these two methods, ISL either .1Q. So these are the protocols. We have a VLAN protocol, trunking protocols. So what these protocols will do, it whenever the receiving the interface, it will be remove the tagging and it will be add the VLAN tagging. Those are the .1Q or whichever the VLAN are there, it will be add that tag, then it will process that information. So in order to make sure that same VLAN users to different switches communicate with each other, there is a method, the tagging happen in trunk links. So if you want to communicate at two different or same VLANs, if you want to communicate even though two different VLAN also, VLAN 20 also, yes, we can have a process and we'll discuss now only. Yes, we can communicate. Earlier I said two different VLANs we cannot communicate. If you want, if you have a requirement, yes, we can communicate. Now in this, you have any argument? Anyone have any argument? If you want to communicate two different VLANs, yes, we can communicate it. Earlier I said no. So we have a methods. Guys, anyone have any questions? So that is what and tag is added before frame is sent and remove once it is received on trunk link. So once it is sending, it is removing, and when it is receiving and it is adding. That is what. And frame tagging happen only on trunk links. The frame tagging happen in trunk link only. In this trunk link only the frame tagging will be happen. If you are configuring the trunk link, then only frame tagging will be happen. The below two trunk protocols are responsible for the frame tagging process. We have a two protocols, ISL and .1Q. So whenever you are configuring, so with this protocols, we have to configure. So the protocols, what they will do, add the tagging and remove the tagging. Once the data is received here, so empty frame will be on, and it once it will be received, the frame will be added here. The frame where it will be happen, frames will be happen, switches, L2 switches or L3 switches. It's message of L2. Data link layer, message type is frame. So yes, I said if you want to communicate two different VLAN, I said we have a option inter VLAN routing. So we have a option that is inter VLAN routing. As I mentioned here, VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. And VLAN 20 and VLAN 10. This wants to communicate this VLAN, and this wants to communicate this VLAN, and this wants to communicate this also, and here also. Yes, it will be possible with the help of inter VLAN routing. With inter VLAN routing, that is we call it as inter VLAN routing. Here we have two methods to configuring the inter VLAN routing. One is router anesthetic method and SVI, switch virtual interface. Router on a stick, on a stick method. Router on a stick method. You can believe like this is a router and this is a stick and this is a switch and different VLANs. VLAN 10, VLAN 20. And this is a stick. With the help of stick router on a stick method, we can configure router on a stick method. And one more thing, we need a multi-layer switch here. MLS, multi-layer switch we need. If I want to configure two different VLANs, we need a multi-layer switch. So we'll configure now quickly at lab. So this is the process. SVI, switch virtual interface, or this lab we are trying to do now. First, we'll configure in our lab. Our lab part will stop recording.